Hello and welcome everyone. This is Saidal and thank you for joining us for another live session at Microsoft Zero to Hero, your community and also part of Microsoft Learn. I'm so happy to host another live session, which is going to be a very great session again. We have a lot of amazing speakers, as you know, and today we are going to learn a lot of good things around a very hot topic. So we've got an exciting session lineup that dives into one of the hottest areas of the Power Platform, AI Builder. So as usual, I have my slides. So AI these days, basically, it's something trend that everything that basically we are seeing or we are using in the tech community, it's something related to AI. But how about these kind of AI builders and how we can use that? That's exactly what today's speakers, our amazing speaker, Pam, is going to help us with that. So she's going to talk, basically walk us through how AI Builder fits into Power Automate and Power Apps. So if you are a fan of Power Platform world, this is the session that you are going to learn a lot from Pam, and share key insight from her, and that also will help you to build smarter, more impactful solution for your organization or for your scenarios. Whether you are just getting a start with AI or already using the Power Platform, you are going to take away some real and actionable guidance from today's session. So, as we already have these slides, code of conduct. So in Microsoft Zero to Hero live session, we expected you to be aware of others, be friendly and passionate, be welcoming and respectful, be open to all questions and viewpoints, be understanding of differences, and also be kind and considerate to others. With that said, I'm going to bring Pam into the stage. Hello, Pam. Welcome to our live session today.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
It's really great that have amazing speakers like you in our stage, because it's not just for new people that they are maybe wants to learn something new, but also it's great for experts that they can learn more and also apply this kind of experience that you already had in your kind of scenario solutions, and they can apply it in their solutions as well. So thank you so much appreciate that you are going to share a lot of good things with us in live sessions
Yeah,
today.
absolutely.
Nice. So I'm going to share your screen to the stage, and then I'm in the backstage. Before I go, this is the very important part. If you have any questions, please ask. We will take care of all of the questions at the end of the session. But the best question will be selected by Pam, and that person will give basically 50% discount for any type of Microsoft exam. So get ready and ask your best questions from Pam. Okay, the stage is yours, Pam, and just let me know if there is anything that you need help.
Okay, absolutely will do. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to be talking about AI Builder today. So my name is Pam DeGraffenreid. I'm a Microsoft MVP in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm a SharePoint MVP. I got into SharePoint because I really loved how it filled the app gap. So that space between Excel and Outlook solutions and enterprise solutions. That was years ago. And now the gap I'm really excited about filling is the AI gap, AI automation. And so AI Builder, it's been really phenomenal. And super excited to be here and talking about it today. So here's a quick agenda. This is for those of you that are not familiar with AI Builder and what it can do. I'm going to show you some outputs from AI Builder. So we're going to look at and talk about some use cases just briefly, so that as we move through things, you have some idea of kind of, what I'm talking about and what I'm trying to accomplish. Then we're going to go actually straight into demos. Along the way, we're going to talk about administration, credits, sharing, a little bit about licenses, and then we'll take questions. So first of all, why would you use AI Builder? What's in it for you? And how does it help you? AI Builder is a part of the Power Platform, and it's available in Power Apps, Power Automate, and in Copilot Studio. And they're really investing a lot in this. There's some new exciting features that have been coming out, and I think there's a lot more planned. So I think thinking of ways that you can bring AI automation into your everyday life is something that's it's something we all need to be thinking about. So we're going to start with invoice processing. So when I got into AI Builder and I saw, oh, you can create an invoice and it will extract the information. We've been using OCR to do this for a long time. So what's the difference? OCR sees the information. AI actually understands it. And then you use AI Builder to automate it. What do you want to do with this information once you've gotten it? So we're going to actually build this today, and it's going to take less than 2 minutes. It's incredible how fast you can transform your processes when you lean into AI. So super excited to look at that in a few minutes. Here's the next example that I want to show you. So this is for a landscaping company, and I was at Ignite last year when the prompt had just hit general availability, and I was talking to another MVP about before and after pictures that they were using AI Builder to compare. So when a landscaper goes out and does work, they take a picture before, they take a picture after. Now, ideally, as a customer service thing, they want to send an email and say, hey, the work's been complete. Hope everything's happy, blah, blah, blah. But now what they're able to do is open up a Power App, put the before picture in, put the after in, and using AI Builder, they can generate a message that says, hey, this is the work that's been done. It summarizes the work that's been done in an email that's appropriate for your customer, and then it thanks them. And this isn't something that's happening when they get back to the office, when they upload pictures. This is something that's happening in real time, just almost instantly. So huge opportunity for time savings there. And I've actually been super impressed with AI Builder's ability to recognize images and then also to interpret what's in an image. Okay. So this is the last one I'm going to show you before we kind of start to jump into demos. So here we have on this side, this is a customer complaint about their app not working. And those are things that come in all the time. Somebody needs to look at them. Someone needs to read it. They need to determine where it goes. They need to understand the urgency. So think about how you can use AI Builder to help you with something like this. So in here, we have an email that got generated. So this email came in, AI Builder picked it up. It determined what application it was and who it needed to be assigned to. And then it sent that person, that assignee, an email that says, you've got a new support request. It came from Tom. The urgency is high. The sentiment is negative. And then it gives a summary of the issue. So whoever got this doesn't have to go through and read all of that and figure it out. Here's a very clear and concise summary. And then it's also proposed a response that says, hey, Tom, sorry to hear you're having problems. We're looking into this. We're going to find out what's going on, and we're going to get back to you as soon as possible. And then they have this option because AI Builder by itself, it's the prompt and the output. But when you when you put it with Power Automate, then you can do things like send an email with options. So now we have an option to send or log only. So they could send this email immediately. But let's say this is Tom is a senior vice president of landscaping or whatever. So they don't want to just send an email. They want to just log it, and they're going to go see that person right away and fix the issue. So you have options, and you've taken something that might have sat for hours or maybe until the next day, and you've just put it in someone's hands where they can take action immediately. So love all of this stuff. And one thing, today we're going to look at fairly simple examples because I want you to see the functionality and have a general idea of how you can use it in your own use cases. But I want you to think bigger. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on, think bigger, because how much more can you do with this information? This can run into all kinds of other systems. It can generate invoices. You can use this information to, I don't know. There's lots of things you can do. You're going to have to look at your own use cases and what you're trying to do, but don't think just I'm going to use this to send an email. Think bigger. We're going to talk about some fun other use cases today as we go on. So I'm going to go ahead and do move into demos. So I'm going to minimize my screen. Okay, this is where the fun starts. So we're going to go into AI Hub. If you don't have AI Hub, you can click on more and you can actually pin prompts as well. And click on that. Okay, so there's two real areas that we're going to look at today, prompts and AI models. So I'm going to start with AI models because this is the place where we're going to spend the least amount of time. So we're going to take a look. You have, I think, 5 pre-built models that are available to you. And so you can go through and take a pre-built model. You can train it. You can do a custom model. You can work with images, and you can see prompts there now have their own section. One of the things that I want to look at right now is extract information from invoices. And this is what I showed you. So here it's extract information from invoices. And this is all the extracted information that it's going to be looking for. So you have customer address, ID, name, date. All of this is done and built in. And you get your line items. So you can customize this model if you need to, but you also have a pre-built model, and this is super cool. So I'm going to say use in an app. Okay, here it comes. So this is, everything has already been wired up. Now you can see if you look at add data, the invoice processing has been added right here. I'm going to click to add, let me go ahead and run this. I'm going to click to add a picture. There's my sample invoice. And I think that this is where AI really stands out over something like OCR. Now, it really depends on what you're doing and what kind of information that you're trying to extract. But this kind of thing can happen really quickly. I'm going to talk to you about another scenario when we think about custom documentation or kind of other places where you have, let me go back to your models. Let me close that. Extract custom information from your documents. So one of the exciting things that I've been thinking about doing is working with requests for proposals. Requests for proposals can sometimes be, they're very, very big, long documents sometimes, and they have a lot of hidden things in there. So how can you use this to extract information potentially from your proposals between this and the other maybe even using prompts. How great would it be is when you have a proposal, a request for a proposal, to be able to extract a one-page brief that you can share, to extract a checklist of all the key points, including the things that aren't normal in an RFP or might be unexpected. There is nothing worse than getting through a proposal process and realizing that there's some small print on page 32 in the third paragraph. So think bigger. Don't think about just the little invoice demo that I showed you. How else can you use this? What are the big challenges that you have in your organization, and where are you spending a lot of time? And then think about whether or not this is something that might be able to fill that gap for you. So now we're going to go back to prompts. And this is my favorite part. I use these prompts all the time. So when you come into prompts, you can build your own prompt, but let me show you real quick. There are so many different templates. I feel like every time I come in here, they have added some new templates. These are a great way to get started. So we're going to click on Summarize Text, and it has something in here. Please summarize this text in a way, So I have some generic text. Hold on. I got a great big paragraph of text about Tennessee, which is where I'm from. And I'm going to click on here. They have some text in there, but I'm going to use my own. And let's go ahead and run this. So that's not quite enough. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clear the prompt. Oh, it didn't do it. Okay, so I'm going to say summarize this text in under 250 words. Let's say under 200 words using bullet points where appropriate. And now I'm going to add content. So where did that little box of bubble go? Super easy to add it. We're going to go in here, and from here, when I click on add content, I can add text, image or document, PowerFX, Dataverse, or new connection. So I'm going to leave this as text input. I'm going to put that in there. And I am going, so let's see what happens. It did pretty good. It under 200 words, which means it totally adjusted for my spelling error. And you can see this isn't like a great, interesting, well-formulated prompt that I did. It's just words of, I need to do this. So let me show you a couple of other things around the window. So I showed you can clear a prompt. You can actually go right back to the prompt library and reset that. And then you have some settings. So under settings, temperature, I always leave this at 0. The higher the temperature, just like in any other model, the higher the temperature, the more creative it's going to be in its responses. Being in IT, this is something that I never want more creativity. We have record retrieval. So when we looked at adding input, one of the things you could do was add Dataverse files and connect to Dataverse records and tables. So how many records do you want to retrieve when you do that? You can go up to 1,000, and you can also include citations that link directly back to that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. The next thing that I want to look at is prompt models. A few months ago in AI Builder, you had this great little thing here that told you how many credits you were using. And we're going to talk about credits in a minute. Maybe we should talk about it now. Okay. And a lot of other models use tokens, and that's how they kind of measure your consumption and your usage. In AI Builder, you're going to use credits. And this prompt that I just ran, probably based on the previous credit information that I was getting, I could easily see that it was 7, maybe 7 to 10 credits. But if I went up to a higher model, it might go up to like 60 to 125. So the model that you're using is going to have a big impact on your credit consumption. And hopefully that's something that they're able to add back in here, because knowing how many credits you're using becomes a pretty big deal if you're running a big process, or you're running a process that you're relying on, something that's business critical, something for the support. You wouldn't want your support flow to stop running because you ran out of credits. So it is something that you need to be aware of, and you need to be thinking about and planning for. One of the other things I'll show you, I don't have Azure set up in this environment, but I do have a video at the end that I'm going to come back and show you. It is so easy to add an Azure AI Founder model. I've been super happy with, I didn't click on that for a long time because I thought, oh, this is going to be hard. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. And we're going to come back. I do want to talk to you a little bit about the difference between text and JSON and the outputs and what you might want to use when. So that is kind of a general, simple example of the prompt builder. And now we're going to go build a quick flow. And I'm going to do an instant cloud flow. Are there any questions? I don't think there are. I think you'll tell me if there are, but just wanted to stop and check.
There are some questions. One from Carnier, or I hope spelled his name correctly. Hi Pam, this grading license and cost. What is the consist comparison of AI Builder versus Copilot Studio?
So AI, the cost comparison between AI Builder and, did you say Copilot Studio?
Yeah, Copilot Studio.
Okay, so Copilot Studio, you have your tenant license and probably need a Power Apps license. When you're using AI Builder, every license that you buy that is a Power Apps premium license or a Power Automate license comes with credits. So it's 5,000 credits with a Power App premium license. I think it's 15,000 credits that you get with the Power Automate license. And all of those, they don't go to you. They're reset monthly, but they are pooled to your tenant. So by default, they go to the default environment and they're available for anybody to use. So probably your admin has looked at that and realized that and turned that off to make sure, if you are still using the default environment, that you don't, you know where your credits are going and how they're being used. So what's going to happen is you're going to, it depends on how many licenses you have, then you automatically have a pool of credits that come with it that you don't have to pay extra for. But let's say you don't have a bunch of Power Apps licenses and you need more credits. You're still doing big stuff in AI Builder. You can buy capacity packs. Capacity packs it is $500 for the first capacity pack. It's 1 million credits per month. And I am not as familiar with, I know that even when you use AI Builder, and I am 95% sure this is right, okay? I'm not a Copilot Studio expert, but the Copilot Studio uses messages, and even AI Builder consumes messages. You don't have to use your credits from your AI Builder to use it in Copilot Studio.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. There is one question here. I'm not sure that there is one of our LinkedIn users that asked this question. Maybe he needs to make it a bit more clear, but it was at the step that you were working with the files with the OCR part. So he asked, I take it this invoice is a paper copy that has been OCR'd somehow?
Honestly, it is a sample that I generated on ChatGPT as a Word document and saved as a PDF.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But you can also take a picture of it, because I've also tested it with that just took a screenshot of an image, and then I put it into AI Builder. And I cannot tell you how the AI magic works, but if I take an image and I put it into a AI Builder or into ChatGPT, it goes through there and it understands what information is in there. So, yeah, I don't have a good answer to explain that to you, but yeah, it does. I did not run any OCR on that PDF, and it also works directly with an image.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that part of this kind of compiling data from scanned document or any kind of document, it's part of the document intelligence service that you basically can use. And also, if you want to think a bit more advanced solution, definitely you can connect your scanners to this kind of services. So basically you can have everything into AI. Perfect. We
Yeah.
don't have more questions. So please continue. If there was any question, I'll let you know.
Okay, terrific. So I just want to show you this in action. We're going to, I have a SharePoint list. SharePoint, Seymour. I want to, why didn't I star my get items? Okay, hold on, let me go back here. Oh. Automated cloud flow, not automated. Instant cloud flow, manual, create. Okay, I'm back. Get items. I'm just going to type it in. Use the search box if I can type. Okay, that was much easier. So in here, I have a feedback list. On the feedback list, I have, or on the feedback site, I have a movies list, and I'm getting the items. And let's see. So in here, I have 3 movies. And so my goal here is for each movie, I'm going to get the genre, the year, and the summary. This is such an easy example, and then we're going to write it back to SharePoint. Such an easy example, but it really shows, it's a good way to look at the output that you get from the prompt. So we're going to run a prompt. And while I'm waiting for that to load up, here's a really interesting thing. You do need a Power Apps Premium license to build prompts. You don't need to run them if you have credits. So if I have a Power Apps Premium license, I can build the prompts. And if I give it to you and you don't have a Power Apps Premium license, if you have credits, you are able to run the prompt. It's not complicated, but it's a little confusing. So we're going to do a new custom prompt. And here, hands down, is my favorite feature of 2025. This is the Copilot prompt agent. And I can write in here. So you saw how I wrote a prompt before. Like I just write like a prompt like I talk. So I'm going to say, for this movie, give me the genre, the year it was released, and a summary. Okay, this is magic. what it's doing is it's taking it and it's writing an actual real prompt. So it's fantastic because then I'm able to then I'm able to share with other people. Like, you don't want to share my other prompts with people, right? I come in here, I have actually used this for other places where I need prompts, and I just need help writing like a really well-formed, well thought out prompt. So kudos to Microsoft. I so appreciate this feature. So I'm going to go ahead. I have, I can refresh, I can get another draft, I can delete it. I'm going to keep it. And in here, let's go ahead and test it. Oh, I didn't put my input in. So down here, it went to upload an image or document. So let me delete this, and I'm going to do add content, and I'm going to say movie title, and I'm going to hit close. So in here, we're going to put the Lion King. And now we're using 4.0 Mini, and let's see what kind of results we get. Now you can see in the output, it automatically said respond with JSON. So the nice thing about this is I'm going to be able to pick this output up with the dynamic selector when we go back to Power Automate. And I'm not, if I do text, and let me show you what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to just cut that out. Let's test it again. So if I leave it just as text, I might get all the information, but it's going to come back as text that when it goes back to Power Automate, I'm going to have to go back and figure out, like, I'm going to have to find that information to update my list. So definitely having that output in there makes it so much easier. So I'm going to change this back to JSON, which is going to require me to test it again. Summary. And I'm going to say no spoilers because nobody ever wants a spoiler. So we'll go to 4.1 just to see if we get a slightly different answer. But in a lot of cases, Mini is usually fine for most of the things that I need. So I'm going to change that back. Test it again. We're going to save it. So when I created that input, I named it movie title. And that's going to be important here in just a minute because this is where we're going to connect the prompt that I just created, which I obviously didn't name. You should always name your prompts. And now I can go into my get items and I'm going to select title. So it's automatically put that into an apply for each. And so I have 3 items in my list. For each one, it's going to run that prompt and I've passed in the title. And then we're going to add a step. Update item. Let me go back to my feedback site. Movies. And I've got the ID. So now I want to update the genre, the year, and the summary. So in the output that I'm getting from that prompt, because it's in JSON formatting, I can just go pick it up. It doesn't get any easier than this. Genre, year released, and summary. I'm also, true story, I used text for, probably a week or two before I clicked on the JSON button. And then I realized like I could match everything up to my dynamic selector. So that was a huge relief. I was super happy to find that. So let's go ahead and save this. And does not have, hold hold on. Let me go in here and I'm just going to set a top item so it's happy. Okay. Let's see. So I expect that I'm going to get one more notice that's, oh no, it doesn't. So they used to have a notice that came up here that said, and you might see it, there's a warning that you're using an AI prompt and you don't have any content approval on it. So if you see that, don't be surprised. Just ignore it. It's just a warning. I mean, think about it. Don't ignore it totally, but I have a high level of confidence, especially as I start working with Prompt Builder and I refine those prompts and I do my testing. I have a high level of confidence, but anything that's going out that I'm sending to a customer, a lot of times I do that, send an email with an action. So that way I get an email, I can review something, and before it goes out to anyone, I can just say, go ahead and send it. And it sends it off in the next action in the flow, and I don't have to worry about it, but I do want to see it first. I haven't had an instance where something bad or wrong has come up, but you really do, good prompt in, good information in, good content out, right? So you want to be thoughtful about that. So let's go back to our SharePoint list. This should be all updated now. We'll refresh. Oh no. Let's see. Let's go back to our demo. And let's see what happens here. We want to look at the outputs. Oh, well. So we should have tested our prompt first. Let's look and see what is happening. I'm going to go in here and put a compose in. And I am going to put in the genre, the year released, the summary, and let's go ahead and get the title so I know what I'm looking at, and let's test this again. Okay. Hold on a second. Oops. Show raw outputs. Okay, so it's not getting anything from the prompt. Run a prompt. 12:30. And let's see. I'm going to put the title in there. And compose outputs. And you'll save and test. So what I did is, for some reason, it's not picking up the title. So I put a compose in, I put the title in there just to make sure that that we're actually picking up the title of the items. So we have the title of the item. Okay, so it did go through. It didn't find anything for the Lion King, maybe. I need to look at that. But it did go through. It worked on Jurassic Park. It worked on Finding Nemo. It found the year, the genre, and the summary. You know, this is AI Builder. It's a part of Power Platform. It's like everything else. So sometimes it needs a little bit of troubleshooting. It needs a little bit of attention. So don't be surprised if that happens. Okay, that took a little longer than I expected it to. Let me find our next demo. So the next place that I wanted to show you this is in Copilot Studio. Power Automate. Where did it go? Power Automate, usually the easiest one, but I did build a Copilot Studio agent. Okay, let me go back here and reopen it. I seem to have something kind of squirrely going on with my mouse, so go back here, Copilot, Power Platform, Copilot Studio. And I'm going to go into agents. So I'm just going to show you an agent here that I previously built, yesterday, the day before. It's super simple. And again, the goal here is just to show you how potentially you could use this. What I did is a feedback agent that we're using AI Builder to go in and get some information. So I'm going to go into the topic and collect feedback and show you what we did and how we use this here. Okay, there we go. So the agent chooses, I left that. We did on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you? What worked well, what didn't? And this is where we added in the prompt. So in here, we passed in the rating, and then we passed in the comment. And this looks exactly the same here as it does everywhere else across the platform. So I have my prompt in here. Here are the two values that I'm inputting. I'm still using 4.0 mini. And I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. Do you want to close? Confirm. And so now if I go in here and say, I have feedback. On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you? I'm going to 8. 9 is fine. I wish there was a dark mode. I think my favorite thing about AI is I don't have to go back and fix my spelling all the time. Oh, what worked well and what didn't? Maybe I do have to go back and fix my spelling. Thank you for the great rating. We're glad everything worked out well. Appreciate your suggestions for a dark mode. So it heard exactly what I said. It wrote an email directly to me and sent it back. So thinking about other ways that we can use something like this and kind of capture that feedback. Another really powerful, I think, use case is thinking about intake. We talked about taking in problems and support, but in thinking about intake, there's a lot of information that you need. You need to know, is there funding? What are the general requirements? What are you trying to accomplish? What's the impact? Who is the audience? And information like that. So thinking about, especially as if you were going through a process and collecting information, being able to say to this prompt, like, ask what problem we're trying to solve and then score that based on, the information they provide and what we're expecting, and then be able to give them feedback, like compose a response. Like, it looks like you're missing information in, really clearly understanding what problem it is you're trying to solve, or you don't have, I don't know, maybe understanding the impact or the scope of the issue or the problem. So I think there's a lot of really good opportunities to use this, not just in a general at the end, but also step by step, especially in Copilot Studio, as you're asking people questions and engaging with them and getting a prompt in there. Are there any questions?
Checking now, there is some kind of conversation between people in the chat. So not really questions, but
Okay.
maybe some comments around that. So we can check it at the end of the session, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So let's see. So I think in my next demo, we're going to look at, this is something new, and this is something I haven't demoed before. I'm going to go back here, close some of these windows up, and click on tables. And this is a new feature that's in preview. I haven't demoed it before. I don't have a super amazing demo, but it's really important that we look at this. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start with a blank table. And I'm going to, let's see, I have a new column. I'm going to edit this and I'm going to name it application. We're going to go back to kind of a support thing, I think. Show less. Add a column for details. And I'm going to go ahead and save and exit here. Oh, you can see that I've done this a couple of times. So I think this is maybe the table just 20 seconds ago that I made. So when I go in here, there is a new column type, and it's called prompt. I'm super excited about this. After so many years of creating calculated columns to try and figure out things and to display information in a certain way and find it, I think that this has a lot of potential, and yeah, I'm super excited about it. Let's do urgency. And in here into the text and add a new prompt. So in here, it's, we're creating a prompt, and it's going to tells us what our options are. And I am going to take this out and say, evaluate the to add content from table 1. And I'm going to say details. So we're going to evaluate details and determine the urgency of the issue. inventories are non-urgent. So not urgent. Oh, low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. And so I'm going to go ahead and save that. And save that. To approve, please help I travel next week. Here, and I need to put in the application travel request. Okay, so now it's saving that. So obviously I need to give it more details, but it's kind of given the urgency applied, the manager needing to approve, it's going to determine that it's high. So obviously I want to work on that output, but at the same time, the ability to have kind of this column where you can put your prompt in there, that you can get the sentiment, that you can get the urgency, that you can get the summary, that you can put all of those directly in your tables and columns is super powerful. So I'm really excited to see what happens with that over the next couple months for me. But I haven't been using that a ton. So kind of in recap, I wanted to, we've got about 8 more minutes. We talked about sharing. We talked a little bit about credits. In administration, by default, AI Builder is enabled. It can be turned on and off in each environment. And you can allocate a certain number of credits to each environment. So those credits, they are pooled to your tenants. So if you buy a capacity pack just for you, you need to be working with your admin to make sure, like, hey, these 1 million credits go directly to me every month. So those are things that you're going to need to be aware of and have conversations about. And also, if you look in the Center of Excellence, you can get some reports about your consumption and the usage. So I think, there is one other thing that I have to show you. I don't want to forget about this. So this is connecting to AI Foundry. And so here I have, let's see, hold on. Let me see if I can pull the slide all the way up. Oh, that didn't do it. Hold on. Okay. So there's 4 pieces of information that you need when you could do a connection. You need the name, the model, this target URI, and the key. So the name will be down there. My name and model are usually the same, but you can also, like an example or use case, like I selected 5.4, so which might be good for, let's say I have like some academic or math, science. I need a different model than just what I've been using. So I want to add a different model, and this is how you add it. Hold on, I've got to go to play. And can I switch screens? I can't. Okay, so we're going to watch it here. So you're going to click on the AI model. It pops up this window. You're putting in the name, putting in the model name. And we're doing a quick paste for the endpoint and the key. You don't have to put a description in. That's the only field I think not required. And then you click connect, It doesn't take that long to connect. It's testing it though. So if you are leveraging AI Foundry, this is definitely something that you might want to look into. Okay, so that's it. That's all I have to show you. I hope that there was something in here that was helpful, and let's talk about questions if you have any.
Yeah, perfect. Yes, we already have 2 questions and a lot of thank you, interesting session, and so on that I'm going to show on screen very soon. But let's start with the questions. So there is one question. For the new column type prompt in tables that you demonstrate, is it using AI Builder in the flow to define the column?
Okay, was that the movies one that I did?
No, I think it was like middle of your demo.
Say the question to me again. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm not following you.
Let me see. Okay. For the new column type in tables that you demonstrate, is it using AI Builder in the flow to define the column?
It is. It is. So it's if we go into edit columns and come in here.
Oh, okay. You are sharing the screen. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My screen's still up. So
Yeah.
It is still up, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. So you're still in AI Builder. And you know something, and I assume that it's using credits the same way. I that is an assumption I'm making. That is not something that I am positive about. This is a fairly new feature. Still
Nice.
in preview.
Nice. Okay, there is another question. What do you think are the security concerns for the new prompt column type, and how may we manage those concerns and risks?
That's interesting. So let's go back here and look at this. So I think something, you know, you can enable your column security. You can make it searchable or not searchable. But I do think, again, this is a fairly new feature. I am not overly concerned for the use cases where I'm thinking about using this. I'm not necessarily concerned about that because the way that I'm going to set it up, you know, those fields, they're not necessarily, we're going to have column security on those. Those are going to be, so-and-so has put in a request. I want all this information. These are like calculated columns on steroids because they're prompts and I can put whatever I want in there. But yeah, I'm probably, you know, I'm going to do some column security to make sure that I see that and not somebody else. But no, that will be an interesting conversation. You are not going to be the first person to ask that, and there will be better answers as time goes by. I'm sorry, I don't have a better answer.
Nice. Yeah, from my side, I've been working with a lot of AI solutions nowadays, and basically the main concern for everyone is related to the security and how we can make a secure solution for the customers. And it doesn't matter in which layer. Basically, doesn't matter how much you know about the service as well. So you need to always get some help from the security people as well, that they have more understanding around the deep part of these security things. So every single solution that I'm going to make, I always have a conversation with security team. Hey, this is my idea and this is your idea. Let's put everything together to make it more secure. But it's really hard to make it.
Yeah, you know, so that's a really great point because I am definitely more of a, you know, maker or builder of things. And so, but I always have a testing process. I always have a security review, like quality assurance. So kind of thinking about like along those lines, I have not had, you know, yeah, definitely talk to your security person and make sure for anything AI you have that you have a, that you have a good testing process, that you have a good security plan.
Exactly. Yeah, so here we have a lot of thank you, interesting, very interesting, also helpful. So I'm showing them in the stage. So there is no more questions, Pam, but it was really good. Thank you so much for the information that you shared. And what is your basically recommendation for people that they just want to start and learn about Power Platform and a specific part of AI for that?
So it really getting into AI Builder, it's possible that it's on and it's enabled in your environment already. If you don't have it, talk to your admin, see if they'll, give you a place where you can use AI Builder, the credit that they'll, turn it on and give you some credits. If you have a Visual Studio subscription, there is a Microsoft developer plan that you can get a tenant with. It gives you your own tenant. You can add a Copilot Studio trial license to it, AI Builder trial license, the Power App Premium license. I highly recommend that if it's something that is available to you, because having a place where you can go and figure out all of it rather than just a little piece maybe that your admins give to you is incredibly beneficial and important to learning. And especially as you're going through learn.microsoft.com, which covers so many different things. So, but yeah, if you're not an admin, if you're an admin, you might be able to go in and start a trial. But if you're not going to be able to do that without talking to them. So really be thinking about those use cases going into that conversation, because there is so much value here in just everyday AI productivity. This is without even thinking about the bigger solutions. I've used it in so many small ways just to help, my regular tasks that I don't want to do, that are repetitive. And if it can be documented and it's repeatable, I can put some AI on it. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's true. And one more question for those that they are, let's say, not working for any organization or they don't have any admins. Is there any kind of possibility for them to, for example, in Azure, we have $200 for a year to have a credit and work with Azure environment. Does Microsoft support this kind of scenario in AI Builder or Power Platform as well, so people can get those kind of free licenses?
Yeah, so the Microsoft developer plan, you can add that to your tenant, like to get the Power Apps premium licenses. The AI Builder trial, I have been I don't use it for any kind of production thing, so I don't know how this happens, but they continue to let me renew my Power Apps premium or my AI Builder credits every month. So it's not a ton of credits, but it's enough for me to get in and kind of figure everything out. If you go into your environment and you look on under add-ons, that's where you're going to find your AI Builder credits and how many you have pulled. So if you have a tenant and you are an admin and you have Power Apps premium licenses, you have AI Builder credits. You should look and see, like, where are they going? Who has access to them? Who's actually using them that I didn't even realize, and then figure out what your strategy is going to be for, managing and sharing those credits.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Perfect. Good. We don't have more questions, but based on all of our sessions that we have, and we ask speakers to select one person as the best question, so they will get the our discount voucher for the exam. So it's your time, Pam. Please find one of them that they ask a good question.
Okay, hold on. Wait, do you have something on the screen that I can look at? No.
Yeah, you can check in StreamYard comments part. You should have access to it already.
Let's see. Who asked the security question? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the security question for the win.
Yeah, okay. So Mr. Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. Good,
Yes.
Perfect. Mr. Johnson, please contact me directly in my LinkedIn account, or you can do a direct message to Microsoft Zero to Hero LinkedIn page. So we need your email address, so basically we can continue from there and assign the voucher to your account. Good. Thank you so much, Pam. It was really nice. And we learned a lot of things from you, specifically about this new era of the AI inside Power Platform. I no doubt that many people is going to use this kind of things that you shared with us in their scenario in the future. So basically, thank you so much that you joined us to this live session today.
Good. Well, I hope it was helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, nice. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend.
You too.
Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.